Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on E.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the shotgun, Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
12 yards there and a 1st down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still second down.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Now it's Carson. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good gain, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 3rd down, Wilson. This is caught, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. David Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Murray, Crabtree with it over the middle. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Nice pass that time by the #1 pick, Kyler Murray. Also drafted 9th in the Major League Baseball draft. He's the only person ever to be taken top 10 in both sports. Go back to his Allen High School days in Texas. He was 42-0 as a starting quarterback. Freshman year, he was at Texas A&M, then the transfer to Oklahoma, sat behind Baker Mayfield. Then his opportunity came last year. Boy, did he make the most of it. Won the Heisman Trophy and led the Sooners to the college football playoff.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro, and taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 yards there, 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Murray, pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Murray with a 3rd and long. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Murray going to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second play results in a loss of 2 yards. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. David Moore, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
They decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice, able to get a hand in and tip it away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Carson. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Wilson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. That's caught out right by Jennings. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Play action. Now Wilson. This is Jennings. 11 yards there. 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion. But he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Carson. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Then tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, two teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. A lot of people felt Johnson was a little misused during what was a disappointing 2018. 940 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. Great for most, but not the season Johnson was hoping for. And he said this offseason. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's got to the point when we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed. And now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. To the right side, and he's got more complete. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way. as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. First down, Murray. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing now is Murray. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target. Third down here.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah,
now Murray has it stripped. A big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown.
That's what I'm talking about, boy. That's what I'm talking about.
So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 17-3. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. A final shot before half from Murray. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray fighting. Lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent,
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Kyler Murray, 1,000-yard rusher as a quarterback in his Heisman campaign at Oklahoma. He's got the 1st down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, good one. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Al Woods in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Murray now to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, able to record his 5th sack of the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Airing this one out for Fitz. And this is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're still looking for their 1st touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the... And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 1st touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Penny, the 1st down carry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, Murray able to find Isabella. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella, his fourth touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now, 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said, it's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically, they got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Carson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Completes it to Dixon. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. Looking deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Wilson throwing again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Wilson will throw again. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They keep it. Penny on first down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Wilson on 3rd down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Myers' kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Let's go!
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A big spot now for the rookie Murray. David Johnson here on the catch. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Before this season started, Johnson said this new offensive system would allow him to really be effective in the passing game. He actually likened it to 2016 when he had almost 900 receiving yards. He said one of his goals is to become the third player in league history to hit 1,000 yards rushing and receiving in the same season. They also noted that he's really comfortable in this scheme. It's like his college days at Northern Iowa when he was part of a team that based out of a shotgun with a running quarterback. Here's Murray. Crabtree has it. And he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll run it here with Logan, and he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Murray. Eluding the pressure right. And some room to work. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain. The first down carry here for Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Murray to throw. Man open right side. It's the tight end Clay. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. He's going to go up top for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
Again, it's Penny. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Corey Peters there to bring him down. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Seahawks, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brent.